Hello, Unforsaken family. Super excited to share with you today. It is Mother's Day month, right? We get the entire month. And Sochi asked me to speak this month because she realized I'm a mom and I'm in the heat of it. But super grateful to be here today. I actually have one napping. That's a win. The other one watching a show. So we'll see how long that goes. I got my AirPods in to try to drown out some of the noises that you may hear, but it's probably just giggles because it shows that they like there. But super excited. And before we jump in, I am so excited to share. We kind of have a fun thing coming up. And it's not really a thing, it's an idea that we have that my mom came up with, and it's just a really cool thing. And as I was reading Proverbs 31, and that's what we're going to jump into today, Proverbs 31 has so much about being a mother and being a wife, and some of the things that just like stood out to me and just were so cool. I wanted to encourage you with, if you don't have children, look at those parts while I'm reading and just think, okay, that's a spiritual mother. Like, that's how I can be a spiritual mother. When she talks about her children. Maybe those children are just children that you love on at church, or children that you, maybe you make clothing for, or things like that. Things that this mom does in Proverbs 31, you could still do for other people's kids and be a spiritual mother. And back to what I was saying is, we're gonna launch something within Unforsaken for moms, not just single moms, but moms that need a mother figure, an older mother figure, almost like a mentor, to just pour into them, to just love on them, maybe go to doctor's appointments with them. When they got littles like me, like going to the doctor with 2 toddlers is not easy. And I'm thankful I have a mom that will go with me, but not everybody has a mom close by, or not everyone has a mom that they're super close to. Your mom could be completely living, but maybe you still long for that spiritual mother. So we are gonna start that. It's almost gonna be like a godmother thing. So if maybe you're a woman, I'm not going to say older woman, but if you're a seasoned mother and you've been a mother, or you don't have any children, but you have that want still, that you just want to pour into these young moms. And I just think it's really cool. It's going to be a really cool thing. We don't have a name yet. It's just something that I wanted to share with you guys, because when I was reading this, my heart went, okay, how am I going to talk to the people that aren't moms? And whenever those parts talk about children, again, think of it as a spiritual child that you could do this for. So I'm gonna dive in, and I'm super excited. So I'm gonna start at verse 10, because that's where the wife of noble character part really begins, and we're gonna go into it. Super excited. The first part says, a wife of noble character, who can find? She is worth more than rubies. Her husband has full confidence in her and lacks nothing in value. She brings good, not harm, all the days of her life. She brings him good, not harm, all the days of her life. Don't want to leave that out. That is huge. That is so huge. And it made me reflect and think that we need to be our husband's #1 fan. I don't know if you know this, but I have the best husband in the world, and I'm going to show you how to be their #1 fan. No, it's just loving on them and around other people. I think it's important because men have that, right? A lot of men love words of affirmation, I think. Carlin's is physical touch. That's his favorite love language. But words of affirmation, it builds up men. It builds up everybody. We need that encouragement, men or women. But I just think I need to encourage women, like, you need to be your husband's #1 fan. You need to only talk good about him to other people. Someone needs to hear that again. When your girlfriends are talking about their husbands, you don't have to chime in. Or you can chime in and say, well, maybe they're talking about how he doesn't do certain chores or something, and maybe your husband's not doing those as well. Don't talk about that. Talk about the good things. My husband mows the lawn every week. It's just so sweet. Or he does the dishes all the time. Or he does this, like, only show the good. You are supposed to show your husband's highlight reel. You're supposed to show him as his best self. And then behind closed doors or with a counselor or with trusted people, I'm not saying that you have to pretend that your life is perfect when it's not. But there's a time and a place for that, right? So if you are talking bad behind their back and stuff, it's not going to do anything good. And you want your husband to have full confidence in you. You want him to know when you're going to girls' night, you're not gonna talk about him, right? But just full confidence in everything. I know Carlin trusts me, and that comes with time. And but still, it just comes with showing the good of your husband. So I kind of talked about that for a little bit, but as women, we need to hear it. So as I continue, she selects wool and flax and works with eager hands. She is like the merchant ships, brings her food from afar. She gets up while it's still night and provides food for her family. That I am still working on, okay? While it's still night, am I doing the dishes when my kids go to sleep? Yes. Am I doing things that I need to get done? Laundry, maybe folding clothes before they go to sleep, after they go to sleep. I'm doing those things. I need to get better at like baking the breads and stuff though, But what I thought was so interesting, from 13 all the way to 19, these are all things that women could do besides bearing children. So this whole thing is not just about motherhood. It's about being a wife. It's about being a woman of God as well. And it's about motherhood, but she continues. She considers a field and buys it. Out of her earnings, she plants a vineyard. Considers a field and buys it. Out of her earnings, she plants a vineyard. Why do you think my mom came up with the idea of a vineyard? I never knew the exact reason, but I'm thinking it has to do with this as well. And if you want to, out of your earnings, donate to the vineyard, you can. No, I'm just kidding. But really, I'll keep going. She sets about her work vigorously. Her arms are strong for her tasks. She sees that her trading is profitable, and her lamp does not go out at night. The lamp does not go out at night just reminds me of all the sleepless nights, right? Or just the nights where, like I said, you might be doing things late, but the nights you're up all night and your little lamp, I have a little one that you just tap and it turns right back on. Your little night light is continued to be on, right? Changing diapers, nursing, things like that. Or maybe you're done with the newborn phase, and you're just, sometimes the Lord will wake you up in the middle of the night and you just have to pray. And I know that is something that's powerful, and you think, oh, I want to sleep right now, but these women right here, their light doesn't go out. They're continuing to pray for their kids. They're continuing to pray for others in the middle of the night. And that's powerful. That's a powerful thing. In her hand, she holds the distaff and grasps the spindle in her fingers. She opens her arms to the poor and extends her hands to the needy. When it snows, she has no fear for her household. All of them are clothed in scarlet. I think in that part, just like having no fear for her household, that's hard for me. I fear certain things for my children, or things that is going on in our household, and that's not from the Lord. If we want to be a Proverbs 31 woman, we need to know that we're not fearing our household. We're prepared, right? We're prepared for the snow. We're prepared for hard times. I see it in that literal sense, not just in the physical sense of, she has clothes for them. She makes coverings for her bed. She's clothed in fine linen and purple. Her husband is respected at the city gates, where he takes seat among the elders of the land. This part is so important because it reminds me of the beginning part. I believe that your husband will be respected if you respect him. You're the first one. People will respect him if you first respect him. And I know it sounds crazy, because you're like, he doesn't care. Like, he doesn't care about that as much as as a elder, or as a pastor, or other people, a businessman, his CEO, his boss respects him. No, God wired him to get that respect first from his wife. So I encourage you with that. If it's at home behind closed doors he's feeling respected, everywhere else is going to respect him, because he's going to have that confidence, which is so important. So let's respect our husbands. She makes linen garments and sells them, and supplies the merchants with sashes. She's clothed with strength and dignity, and she laughs at the days to come. I love that, and that's a powerful verse, because we're not just clothed in clothing, right? We're clothed in strength and dignity in everything that we do. So I encourage you with that today. Just know that you are clothed with strength and dignity. We are not meant to be insecure. We're not meant to be feel weak in any way. God wants us to feel strong and beautiful, right? And we're going to kind of touch on that. She speaks with wisdom, and faithful instructions is on her tongue. What are we pouring into our children? We're pouring in wisdom. We're pouring in love, faithfulness, things like that. Everything that comes out of our tongue is faithful. And let me tell you, that's not always the case here. And even sometimes when I raise my voice or I do something, I think as a mother, something that you can always do is apologize. Apologizing is so important. I apologize to my 3-year-old. I apologize to my 1-year-old. Hey, I'm so sorry, I just yelled. Someone would be like, they don't even know what you're saying, but no, they do. And saying, I'm sorry, mommy yelled, or I'm sorry I did that. Because we want them to say sorry when they do things wrong. So that's a powerful thing that you can take with you, is no matter what, don't be afraid to say sorry. She watches over the affairs of her household and does not eat the bread of idleness. The affairs of the household, the unseen things, right? I got my planner here. Jennifer Finn, she gets a shout out. She got me this amazing planner. It's like home, family, finances, everything. And that kind of shows the affairs of the household, right? There's a part for like how much you spend here, this, and maybe I'm like, because I'm not handling the bills, right? My husband handles the bills, but I help handle them. Hey, we got to make sure this goes out, or we got to make sure this, or Maverick has to be at this, or Hayden has swim lessons, or things like that. And moms keep track of that, right? Or what's for dinner for the rest of the week. I love our like Sundays. Me and Carlin do like Sunday resets where we like figure out what we're gonna do and all that stuff. It's mostly me led, but he's so good about enjoying it because I've taught him to enjoy it. But yeah, her children arise and call her blessed. Her husband also, and he praises her. So important. When we respect them, they're gonna praise us, and they're going to call her blessed. I love that. Her children arise and call her blessed. I shared a Devo a few days ago about just waking up and doing my word, because I felt like I just kind of like my life flashed before my eyes. And I just remember waking up and always seeing my mom do her word, read her word, doing her devotions, those kind of things. And it was just so powerful because I just looked around and my 2 kiddos were eating their Cheerios, and just Cheerios were everywhere. But it just felt so quick, and my mom never made me read my Bible. She never was like, hey, come read your Bible with me, or da-da-da. I just did it because I saw it. It wasn't because I was taught it. It was because I caught it. And that's so important as motherhood. And you might have seen my post, but that's just really what I shared in it, is that like your children are watching you. Just make sure you know that. They're watching you. They're watching every little bit of you. They're watching exactly what you do, not what you say. So you can say it all. They're just in one ear out the other. But when you do things, when you love people, when you go to church every Sunday, some of you need to hear that. Not once a month, not when you don't want to go to something better, when you don't want to go to lake, when you don't want to go to Disney World. Like, you need to be in church, because your children are going to see that. They're going to say, well, we only went to church when there was nothing else to do. And that is not good. But anywho, the pastor's wife needs to relax a little bit. But many women do noble things, but you suppress them all. Charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord will be praised. Remember that. I don't know if you can tell, but this girl has been getting so many gray hairs, like pop, 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 pop. Like one day I was like, I think I just like, which I shouldn't be plucking them, but plucking them is easier than going to get my hair like dyed and stuff, and way cheaper. But I'm like, holy crap, like, am I 26 or 27? I think I'm 26. Yeah, I think I'm 26. I think I'll be 27 this year. Kind of, and I'm back. My little one needed a snack, so I'm almost finished with this few verses. But she said, many women do noble things, but you suppress them all. Charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting, but women who fears the Lord is to be praised. Just that fear and that spiritual side of that is what a beautiful woman is. One that fears the Lord, one that gets up every morning and gets in her word, one that is worshiping all day long, one that is choosing love over yelling, right? Or is calm and is patient and all those fruits of the spirits, right? That is a beautiful woman. That is one that, because guess what? We're going to get gray hairs like I talked about. We're going to get old. Our hands are going to be wrinkly and weak and all those things. But one thing we can hold on to and always, always, always be beautiful is fearing the Lord and just loving the Lord and caring for his people and all of those things. So honor her in all her hands have done, and let her works bring her praise at the city gates. So I honor you today. I honor you, mom. I honor you, wife. I honor you, single mom. I honor you, single woman. Just friend. I honor you for fearing the Lord. I honor you for spending time. Like, you could literally be listening to anything right now, and you decided to listen to something that is Jesus-centered. Because that's all I'm doing. I'm just reading the word. I'm just going through the verses in the Bible. It's not some theology. She can't even talk. See, I'm obviously a theologian right here. This is some deep theological stuff right here. But what I'm saying is, it's not that, right? I'm just reading the word. I'm just going verse by verse, talking about things. But you could be doing literally anything, but you're choosing to do that. So I honor you, and I just encourage you to love on your children today, to love on your spouse today, to love on someone else's child today. I know that's, call a mom. Just encourage your mom. Just say, hey, you're doing a great job. I need to do that more with my friends, because I have friends that are going through this crazy season with me, these young moms, and it feels good to hear, you're doing amazing. I know you don't think it, but you're doing amazing. And you just worked from, let's say your husband leaves at 8 a.m. You just worked from 8 to 6 o'clock till they get home. You killed it. Now we're gonna go do bedtime. Like, you're still doing it. Like, that's something about a mom. Like, some of you guys are working, coming home, then being a mom still. Like, motherhood is hard. It's hard. And I'm preaching to the choir. I'm preaching to myself right now, because I need to hear it sometimes, that even though it's hard, that God has got us, and it's such a small season. But it's also a long season when it comes to, like, maybe your children are grown. Reach out to your daughter, reach out to your son, and just say, hey, what can I do to help you? That is huge, even when your kids are grown. My mom comes every few months or every few weeks and just like, hey, I'm gonna come over and we're gonna fold laundry, because she knows that there's a pile in my bedroom that is not folded. And that is one of my worst traits, but she said that she was the same, so she knows that I inherited that, the laundry trait. But she comes and she folds my laundry, and it helps me so much. It's such a huge thing, helping somebody fold laundry, helping somebody go to an appointment, doing these kind of things. Be a friend, be a mother to somebody. Even if you already have children, even if you, maybe you're, like I said, like, maybe it's just being a friend, maybe mothering next to mothers and just doing life together is so, so important. So I hope you got something out of this. Sorry it was a hot mess, but I'm just super, super excited about everything, and about you joining us. And thank you for joining us for another Facebook Live. We just love doing this on Wednesdays and just spending a moment with you guys. And we love you and have a great rest of the day. Bye.